Yes, hello, welcome to the 400 subscriber Q&A special. We finally made it! Oh my god, we finally got it! Oh man, such an even number, but it's still a grand number nonetheless. I will be your only guide through these magnificent questions left by the viewers like you. Thank you. Now then, let's begin. The first question comes from a lovely user named JangoFett25, and they asked, why you suck? Well, I don't know, but I think we're gonna finally find that answer out in the midst of this video. And last time I checked, I wasn't a vacuum. Now then, getting on to the next question, we have a very confusing question that comes from a user named gjenny16, and they asked, how you guys meet? Well, how does anybody else in life meet, you know? That's one of the mysterious questions of the universe. You just meet people, and I don't know, they could be very, very weird, stupid, dumb, or silly, and all that kind of condescending madness. But yeah, I really hope that answers your question, because, I don't know, that didn't make any sense to me, but I tried making sense of it. You see, we're gonna do the next question now. User Poppily asks, favorite musicians, also, what got you interested in voice work? Well, to answer the first part of your question, my favorite musicians currently, I guess of all time, in no particular order, top 5 because I have way too many, are Gorillaz, Nujabes, Queen, Joji, and most recently Bjork. That's quite a lot. That really brings in like a lot of, how you say, it's very different in the like taste of music, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care. I just like the way it sounds. There's a lot of interesting tracks each artist has. The second part of your question here, what got you interested in voice work? Well, what really got me interested in voice work was the fact that I really, really loved cartoons, and I don't think I have ever stopped loving them. But there was a moment in time when I had a eureka moment, and I thought to myself, like, who is doing this voice of this character, one of my favorite characters or whatever, right? And so I just, took my resources, looked the show up, and then from there I was introduced to the wonderful world of voice acting. And let me tell you, it's a very, very vast industry. Go research it for yourself. It's incredible how a lot of these normal looking people can be like such different characters and whatnot. Like, you don't even have to be human. You can be a goblin, a dragon, or like a talking airplane, or maybe you can be like a MF anything, because with voice acting you can. So next question comes from Kayla_D_34. They asked, what is the most terrifying thing about putting yourself out there? Well, that's the beauty about terrifying yourself and putting yourself out there, is that it's a lot like doing your first theater show, and you don't want to go out there, but you also don't want to not put on a show, So, in a way, to answer your question, there isn't anything yet that really scares me about putting myself out there, because I'm just trying to always put some sort of quality in everything I put out there. I know I keep saying put out there, but I don't know how to find a different phrase for that. So yeah, always full send, and always put in a little bed bug smidge of pride in there. Somebody else that's named Lindsay Lyman asked, favorite music and why? Well, I have a lot of favorite music. I don't know why. I guess it all just sounds cool when I'm blasting it in my earbuds. So there you go. So, Grease Goblin asked this wonderful question, and here he goes. Do you piss in the shower? What? Okay, next question. Here we go. Who_is_Kenny asks, do you ever wake up and choose violence? Yes, all the time, buddy.
All the time.
I'm just kidding, no I don't. And last, but certainly not least, we have 2 more questions both very similar in nature, and they're both asked by two different people. Lindsay Lyman asks, who is your inspiration for voice acting? And Hello Cupcake asks, why do you like voiceover, and what are your inspirations? I'm going to be answering the inspiration part first because, I mean, again, very similar in nature. But here we go. So, my inspirations for voice acting, voiceover, I have to give credit to some of the big names / veterans of the industry. Those being names like Tara Strong, Rob Paulson, Roger Craig Smith, and there's a lot of other names, but they're just quite literally escaping my mind. But they've been very famous, in the midst of the 90s when everybody's childhood was at its peak and whatnot. And I have to give credit for, those guys, because, I mean, they really introduced me to, like, who, I could be as a voice actor and stuff. And I like to thank you, too, for asking that question, because it means a lot to talk about my, inspirations / idols. Now, for the first half of Cupcakes' question there is, why do you like voiceover? Well, again, I think I answered that earlier in this video, is, you get to be whoever you like, there's no real restriction to who you can voice. There's always something new, some new character. You could be voicing somebody who's not even your age, you could be voicing somebody who's like an entirely different species, or you could be voicing some inanimate object. Boom, I got it. I am flexing the Porky Pig stutter out here. I cannot English for the life of me. Anywho, but yeah, that's kind of why I love voiceover, because it's just very cool and it's interesting to what you can do and voice and be creative with whatever voice you can come up with for so-and-so character. Yeah. And I guess that just about wraps it up for this Q&A. I'd like to thank the people that asked the questions, because you guys are just absolutely amazing. They were very funny when I was reading back on them. But yeah, this has been a very, very, very short Q&A. I really hope that whatever milestone of an uneven or odd number that we hit, I don't know, maybe like 10K, no. Thank you everybody for watching this Q&A special. I know it's been really short and whatnot, but I still like to give a big thanks to everybody who's been watching and keeping up with everything that I've put out thus far. I really want to get back to bigger projects, and I am still working towards the end of the second season of the podcast, which also, again, thanks for listening on that too, by the way. I hope everybody has a very wonderfully beautiful day, and I'll catch you around in the next one. Later days!